I'm Tammy Bonnell. I am a new Christian as of May 18th. I grew up in the Methodist church. It wasn't of my own decision, but as I got older, like my teen years, I had several friends with different religions and beliefs, and it opened up my world. And so I started questioning what I actually believed because I wanted them to prove to me that Jesus was real. Me and 3 of my new Christian friends sat in a circle and we prayed. We prayed for each other, and we all put hands on each other, and something that I'm not used to doing, but we did. And so they did. They all put their hands on my back and prayed for my back, and specifically for my back. That was Sunday. That following Thursday, I went to work. I got off. I'm supposed to get off at 6. It was about 5:30. And I was sitting at my desk. I was a receptionist. I couldn't be a technician because I couldn't lift dogs or anything. So I was a receptionist, and I was sitting at the desk. And I remember the pain changed. It became hot. And I leaned over on the desk, and I was like, oh, and the other receptionist, Julie, she was filing files, and she's like, are you okay? And I said, I hurt. And she's like, hurt how? You've already been hurting. And I was like, I hurt different. And she's like, well, how? That place that I had injured, it felt like somebody took a hot poker and just bored into that place, and then it just radiated all the way around to my belly button. Like it just came all the way around, and it was like it was just hot. Everything was hot. I thought I ruptured a disc. I seriously thought I'm not gonna walk the next day. And the next day I woke up and I didn't hurt anymore. There was no pain. There was no heat. I felt fine. I know that I was healed, divinely healed. I know that without a doubt. But that, surprisingly enough, that was not what convinced me. I was asleep, and I heard a voice in my room. It wasn't in my head. This was a voice like someone standing by my bed, looking down at me, maybe 6 feet tall, but looking down at me. And it was a male voice. He wasn't happy, he wasn't sad, there was no emotion whatsoever. And it wasn't like a male-female voice, it was a male voice. Definitely male, definitely like 20s, 30s-ish young male voice. And he said, and I'm asleep, and I hear him say, you are cleansed of your, and I cringed. I couldn't hear the word because I cringed, and it felt like every gross sexual, any gross thing I've ever done in my whole life. But you're cleansed of your blank and sinful ways. And I know he said sinful ways because I was wide awake. I opened my eyes, and I could see Andrew, and he's asleep, snoring. And I wanted to reach out and grab him and ask if he heard the voice, knowing full well he didn't hear the voice. So I didn't. My heart was pounding, and the room was just, it was so light. My room is not light. I used to work nights at the emergency animal hospital. So I have dark drapes on my windows, and they're pulled tight. I mean, it is dark in my room. It could be the middle of the day and it's dark in my room. Unless the lights in the room are on, it's dark. And for some reason that didn't register. I didn't even think about it. So to this day I regret not reaching over and waking him up. Because I think if I did, he would have seen that light. So the room was lit. I remember hearing my dog, and I remember focusing on Andrew's face, and I was so afraid to turn. And I did. I took all my courage, and I turned to look, and there's nobody there. I could see my robe hanging on the door, but nobody was there. And I looked at the clock. It was 4 something. I don't remember the time. And I made myself go back to sleep because I was a little scared. So I made myself go back to sleep. And then I woke up later, and I remember telling Andrew about the voice and telling my parents about the voice, knowing full well they probably wouldn't believe me. And I didn't care. But that's why I know that Jesus exists. I know for a fact. Not because my back was healed, but because I heard the voice and I saw the light.